Hey guys, welcome back to AIR Reptile Rescue. Tonight we're going to talk about how to tell if your snake is going into a shed. Uh, there's different signs you can look for in your snake. One of the first ones we're going to talk about is the belly scales will start to turn a pink color. Um, I'm actually going to flip Patty over and kind of show you guys her belly and show you how she's all pink right now or all white. With her belly scales, what they'll do is they'll turn a pink color down the center, and that's one of the signs to be able to tell if your snake's going to go into a shed. The second sign can really be determined anywhere on your snake with their scales, but it's more or less the belly scales. You'll see raised or loose belly scales. That's the second way to tell if they're going into the shed. The third thing that you want to look at is their eyes will turn a bluish color. And that's what people mean whenever they say their snake is going into blue. The eyes will turn blue or bluish gray and be real clouded over. That's how you can tell when your snake's about ready to shed. They may also become pretty irritable during this time. I know with Patty, she's not as bad, but with Xena, she becomes very attitudinal and very irritable. Ow, sorry, dog on my foot. But the whole shedding process can take 1 to 2 weeks. It all depends on if you ever get that humidity up where it needs to be at. The humidity, whenever they go into shedding, you want to bump it up to 70 to 80%. That gives them more moisture to help them get the old scales off and to shed that old skin so they can continue to grow. We recommend not handling your snakes during shedding because it's just like if you have a sunburn and somebody lays their hand on your shoulder and it hurts. I feel that's the same thing with my snakes. Like I said, Xena becomes more irritable. She becomes more nippy if I try to handle her. Especially if I don't realize that she's going in the shed yet. She'll get kind of nippy towards me and things like that. So I feel that whenever they're going in the shed or whenever they're shedding, it's kind of like a sunburn. It's just like whenever you have a sunburn and the skin's peeling and it hurts. It's the same thing with these guys. Their skin is coming off. So keep that in mind. Like I was saying before, 70 to 80% on the humidity in the enclosure during shedding. If after you find the shed that the snake has gotten rid of in the enclosure, but you see on your snake's body, like you'll look at their body and you'll see stuck skin or stuck shed on their body. There's 3 different ways that you can get that stuck shed off. One of the ways, it can be pretty pricey. It's around $14 for a bottle, but it's called Sheddies. It helps your reptiles shed. You can use it on any reptiles that shed. And you can get it from your local pet stores, Petco, PetSmart, a mom and pop shop that does reptiles. One of the ways that I do it is I'll soak my girls in nice warm water. I don't want it cold, but I also don't want it too hot for them. And I'll soak them in that for a little while, let them swim around in it and stuff like that and get their whole body wet. And then whenever I take them out, what I do is I'll lay them in a towel. In that darkness will help them to kind of see. That darkness will be kind of like at night for them whenever they become active. So what they'll do is they'll start moving around in the towel. And as they're rubbing around inside that towel to dry off, they're rubbing that old skin off. So it's helping get that stuck shed off. The other way you can do it, the third way, I've used this method a couple of times. Don't usually use it, but you can take like a warm, damp washcloth or damp towel that's nice and warm, and wrap your snake up in it, and let your snake rub around on it, and that also helps get the stuck shed off because they're doing it on their own. If after you get the stuck shed off, if you realize the eyes are still looking like they're cloudy or if they have stuck shed to them, take a Q-tip, warm it up, well, not warm the Q-tip itself, but get it in some warm water and gently rub it on the snake's eyes. Don't do it all hard because you will damage the eyes. Do it nice and gently across the eye, and the moisture of that will help get those eye caps off. Those should come off immediately with that method.
Make sure that you gently restrain the snake's head when you're doing this because they will not like it.
Yeah, if you go to do the eye caps, gently take your snake, like with Patty, I can grab her anywheres. As you guys can see, I usually try to have a secondary helper with this if I have to do the eye caps. But as you can see, I can hold her behind the head. She isn't too bothered with it. My best bet, especially with her, is what I'll do is if I have a table like this next to me, I will hold her head like this, and after she relaxes, I'll get a hold of her head, and I'll take that Q-tip and gently rub it across the eyes, and that'll help get the stuck eye cap off. We're going to wrap up this video, guys. We wanted to kind of run y'all through a little bit quick on the shedding, because that's more or less the easiest thing to deal with, because the fact that your snake usually does most of the work themselves. The stuck shed and the eye caps was one of the things I really wanted to touch on, because of the fact that you do have snakes like Xena. We're still having issues, even though we get her humidity up near perfect every single time, right between 70 and 80%, she still will come out with stuck shed. So this is why I recommend using those 3 steps to help get the stuck shed off, and the eye caps also. If you're trying to help your snake get stuck shed off, do not just see the stuck shed and go and take it and just start to peel it off. That's going to hurt your snake. It's going to hurt the new skin coming in. That's basically just like you having a cut on your arm or a loose cuticle or something, and you pulling it and yanking on it, and it's going to cause pain, and it's going to be where you're going to bleed because you're going to pull it back. It's the same thing with your snake. They may not bleed from it, but it's going to be painful for them. So if you're pulling stuck shed off, don't do it. It's going to hurt them. Let them soak in the tub for 30 minutes. Let them swim around in it to where they can get the water all over their body. I recommend about an inch to an inch and a half of water, just enough to cover their body to where they can still keep their head up above the water. One of the unique things about snakes that I didn't mention before, if you're doing a soak, a snake can dip its head underwater for up to 15 minutes. So if you go in there, you're soaking your snake, and they stick their head underwater and they don't come up, don't start to freak out. They can hold their breath underwater for 15 minutes. Just keep that in mind. Don't freak out if it happens. It's normal. They will come up on their own and get air if they need to.
Did you mention that their colors stall out before
Yeah,
shedding?
that's another thing also. Whenever you see the shedding, that we can consider that the 4th sign to look for. After you see the eye caps or the eye color changing to be a bluish gray, look at their body patterns. On their pattern, it's going to start to get dull and look like it's like old age. Like with Patty's, with her black colorations and all that, it starts to turn like a light black or a almost dark gray. With her tan, it starts to turn more of a yellowish color. That's how I know that she's going into a shed. That's how I know she's about to get that old skin off and she's about to start getting her new skin in. Whenever you see that, don't get alarmed. They're not sick. They're just going into their shedding process. Like I said, it takes about a week or 2. So some snakes are faster than others. If you get that humidity up pretty quick, as soon as you realize they're going into the shed, sometimes it helps them to shed faster. So keep that in mind, guys. We're going to wrap it up here with Patty and the other children we have here. But We really appreciate you guys coming to see this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section, or hit us up on AIR Reptile Rescue on Facebook. Message me or question me there. I'll be happy to answer all questions and messages. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I post a video, you guys will get a notice that I posted something. Don't forget, I always mention this in my videos, no question is a dumb question about reptiles. We're all here to learn. We're all here to help each other to learn more. If you know something that I haven't mentioned, or you feel that someone else may want to know, leave it in a comment or message me with it, and I'll make a special video giving you a shout out and mentioning your comment and stuff like that and letting people know. Just remember, if you do it on these videos right here, this is our ball python series, so try to keep it towards ball pythons. In more series, if you have the questions about those reptiles, keep an eye out for those videos and we'll mention them in that video. Talk to you guys later. Our next video is going to be on weighing and measuring your snake. And that should be coming up right behind this one. So, from a cold night here in Louisiana and a pretty laid back little girl, we're going to wrap it up here, and we'll see y'all in the next video whenever we show you how to weigh and measure your snake. Later, guys.